It's Sunday. It's the Savedish thing. And you are locked in to the Savedish Sunday podcast. Where faith meets real talk. With comedians Build a Billionaire, Monique and Pastor John Page. Just that come as you are, church. I hope you're ready. It's the Savedish Sunday podcast. People, y'all know where y'all are at. It's Sunday, and you are now tuned into the Savedish Sunday podcast. I'm your boy, Build a Billionaire, and I got my team with me. We got none other than the one and only Monique and then we got Pastor John Page in the building each and every Sunday right here on the Aspire Living Network. What's good?
Let's go. Aspire that.
We here. We back. It always feels good to be back with the family, y'all. How y'all doing? How y'all doing? Happy Sunday. Welcome, people. The new, the old, the curious. Welcome.
Glad to be back, man. How was you guys this week?
Look,
y'all looking well. Y'all looking really wonderful.
Listen, I did some risky things this week, and I mean in a good way. I know when you say risky, like what do you do? Nah, but I took my kids to a comedy show with me, and the crazy thing is, like, I know everybody knows I do a lot of clean shows, and I brought my kids to like churches and stuff like that to do shows. But this show wasn't in the church, but it was either get a babysitter or bring your kid to work day. So it's bring your kid to work day. And, we was in out, but it was an experience. But, my daughter came home snitching. It was like, Mommy, listen, the guy said, there are kids here, but no matter what, we be cussing. So, listen, y'all brought your, I was like, listen, she was like, Daddy, you're grounded. You're grounded. But, it was cool. I wanted them to know that Daddy be working when I be out at night. So that was just,
That's great.
Yeah, that was good.
Yeah, no.
I'm pretty sure that's not the first or second time she heard a cuss word. So.
Yeah, but my son is different. My son is like this. All right. My daughter, she's like, Daddy. We was in the car, and you know how on radio, certain things you can get and say now on the radio. So she was like, Daddy, they said the D word. I'm like, look, that's the radio. That's not my playlist. You know what I'm saying? Because she be quick to say, Daddy be playing the songs with the curses in the car. I'm like, no, I listen. Okay, if it slipped, I press it every time. You be like, Alexa, play Such and Clean. You know what I mean? She's like, make sure it's clean, Daddy.
How old is your daughter?
They my twins. They're 7 years old. They both they 7.
Okay.
So yeah. So but that's
my 7-year-old's the same way. She she's always correcting us. She's like
that's what I told her. That's
bad language. You can't say that.
Yeah, that's my other mother. That's my other manager. Like that's it right there.
That's the boss.
That definitely. How your week been, Mo?
This week was very challenging. I lost a good friend of mine. Rest in peace.
Sorry to hear that.
My good friend. Yeah, she passed, and her family wanted me to kind of host the repast, and I have a show that night. So that kind of ate me up. And I went on this rampage. I did a live the other day on Facebook, and I was encouraging people, don't leave Facebook and social media up to staying in contact with people. Don't look on someone's page and say, oh, they're doing good. They preached today. They're doing good. They had a show today. She's doing good. She just got married. If you love people, call them. Don't wait. But you don't want to get that. You don't want to open up your Facebook page and see a rest in peace, someone that you considered a friend. So I really want to encourage people to settle their hearts with any differences they have with people. So this week was really about just, life is short.
Yeah.
Definitely. Pastor, how's your week? How your week been, man?
Man, my week was pretty cool. It was pretty cool. I had to do some traveling earlier this week for work, and working on some projects, and the family is doing well. My 7-year-old had some extended days off earlier this week, and I'm starting to question the school district for giving them so many days off. And I'm like, do these kids learn anything? Every time I turn around, it's another day that they got off, or another half day they got, which is
late
okay for working parents. I'm like, where do they think that these parents are going with their kids and stuff? Like, What happened to just going to school? Like they
Yeah.
are really taking off a lot of days for absolutely nothing.
Come
All right.
on.
But anyway, that it was, you know, that was my week. It's readjusting my whole schedule to accommodate these days, random days that the school district keeps giving them.
Look,
teachers are fighting for these days off. The teachers are fighting.
yo, the teachers be celebrating right in our face on Facebook, like, yeah, no school tomorrow.
Yeah,
I'm like,
yeah,
nah,
you
this
deal
your
with
turn.
it.
This your turn. Nah.
You know, it changed. Being a teacher changed. It's not the same as it was back in the day. So these new teachers need a break. They need a break.
What do you think the change is like? What do you mean there's a change? Like the kids is different. What's
The
different?
kids are definitely different. The kids are more exposed to things. Yes.
Yes, I agree.
Kids are more exposed to things. They have access to everything on social media. They have access to porn, access to fighting, access to drugs, everything. They can. There's kids that are selling sneakers and drugs and all kind of stuff on their phone. So the parents push them out, go to school. They get to school and it's some of the same habits and behaviors are happening. So these teachers, you know, I'm not saying it's right or wrong, but these teachers are like, listen, I need a break. I need days off. Okay.
Let me ask you a question, and I'm not coming at no teachers, so nobody beat me up. I just want to be real about it.
Put a disclaimer out there.
Yeah, I'm putting it out there. You know what I mean? Because you got to put it out because you know we're gonna get the mail. But do you feel like teachers now have become soft compared to the teachers we had coming up? Like,
I definitely think they are not the same caliber of teachers that we had back in the day. First of all, they look younger. I don't remember the teachers looking this young. I remember I had a teacher one time. She was a strong sister. And now again, social media. To me, social media waters down everything. You know, you go into the clubs with the teachers. The teachers come to school with hangovers. They don't look the same. They tired.
Look. So and that's the thing I ask, right? Because all right, so now I know a whole bunch of educators, right? And I've been out on the Thursday night and know they got to go to school on Friday. So now I'm looking back. What, you don't think our teachers was doing that too?
I don't think so.
We just didn't know what the hangover was. Possibly,
they were having a glass of wine.
I've definitely seen a couple of teachers show up with shades on.
Listen, they were having a glass of wine, but these new teachers be at happy hour, karaoke. They be everywhere.
So, but I think that,
shout out to the teachers, man. They overworked and underpaid.
Yo, that's funny. Like, I really gotta. I'm gonna get ahead and break that down because I'm like, yo, I couldn't picture my mean teacher. I remember I had this teacher, Dr. Schwartz. And remember the show, Boy Meets World? Like she was my 8th grade teacher, and she was like a real strict teacher. I love her to death. She was great, but she was just strict. She ain't play. Everybody was scared when they got her class. So I don't feel like kids have that fear with certain teachers now. I don't know. But then I went to the next, that was elementary school. Then I went to middle school and she became the principal of the middle school that I had and I was like, yo, this chick just followed me everywhere I went. But yeah, I feel like we had a little bit of fear of our teachers that was like that strict teachers. And then now I think they're more of friends. I think it's more of coming like a friend.
The kids are a lot more aggressive too.
Yeah.
Because, you know, they have, again, I go back to the phone, you know they are being taped. So I think they ante up when they know that the people got their cell phones out and they talking crazy. I saw this one video where the kid was like telling the teacher, shut up. And he knew he was being videotaped. So he really shut
up. That put the battery in his back.
Yeah. It couldn't be me. I couldn't be a teacher. I raised a child with behavior
it's
problems.
definitely different
today. Classroom. Ain't no way.
Yeah.
No way.
Shout out to all of the teachers and educators.
Not definitely. I salute y'all. I salute y'all because it ain't easy. It ain't easy. Look, I got my sub certification and I ain't been in the school yet. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm like, look, I don't know.
Let me tell you something. It's such a deficit, and you know, teachers, they want me to be a teacher. I don't even have my degree. They be calling me like, girl, We just need some help.
Yep. But that's real. Well, people, look, make sure y'all are following us on all platforms and Save This
Yeah.
Sunday pod. Make sure you get ahead and check out any of the reruns on Aspire Living Network app, or you get and catch us on YouTube, Save the Sunday pod. So please go ahead and check us out there. But y'all know what time it is, y'all. It's time for y'all to get ahead and ask Monique. So Monique, what we got for the Ask Monique portion of the show today?
So, this is my favorite part of the show. I get to answer questions that are sent to me. This is a good one because I have even thought about doing this. So, here we go. Dear Monique, I've been thinking about relocating for a long time now. More recently, it's been heavy on my mind. I'm actively looking into it. But how do I get over feeling like I'm abandoning my loved ones? I gotta go though.
Mm.
So that's a good one
Mm-hmm.
because you know, that's a big deal. Not wanting to leave your mom, your dad, your kids, the grandkids, but in your heart, you feel like I want to start over. I need a new start. I need so I would say to her, as long as you know in your heart why you're starting over, then everything else is gonna fall into place. I remember when my daughter relocated, and I know she had a hard time telling me because me and her are very close. But to be honest, I was happy because it gave me somewhere to go. So you may think that your family's going to be like, don't leave me, don't leave me. But they may be like, yes, get us out this area so we'll have a place to visit. So to me, just follow your heart and everything else will follow.
Okay. I think it comes down to a comfort thing. Sometimes for you to get and get what you need in your life, you got to get uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And I feel like right now she might be staying in her comfort zone, and uh, sometimes you got to do it. And then look at your situation, be realistic. Like, okay, you move in here. Do you have? I don't know if you have kids. If there's anything like that, because those come into play. Your village comes into play in certain things. So, like, I know for me, I was gonna move at one point. I was gonna move to Atlanta before I had kids, and I looked into it, and I was scared to leave my family, all that kind of stuff. But at the time, I didn't have kids. But then when the kids came, I was like, I don't know if that's the move right now. But getting uncomfortable and being able to know you got to do this for you. And then being able to have access to still go back and visit and take care. I don't know what the parent situations are because some of us get older and then we got to start taking care of our parents. And then it's that am I going to be able to get to them and time and things like that. But I think the biggest thing in this situation is for you to be able to grow, you have to be able to accept being uncomfortable in certain situations. Press, what you think about that?
No, definitely. I think you summarized it well, and just in terms of being able to come to. And I think the other thing is having a good conversation with your village and getting the support there. Sometimes people will just up and leave just because they want to leave and not consider the impact that it has on the village. But if everybody's in sync, then it should go well. You always want somewhere to come home to, right? I remember when I was 18 or so, when I graduated from high school and went to Boston for college. I came back and my mother had turned my room into our sewing room, right? So all my trophies, all of my whatever paraphernalia from my high school years was boxed up and put away. But that was the decision that we had made, and she let me know that you're a man now, and we've converted your room, and that was the expectation, right? So even if I did have a place to go back to, I only had a couch to sleep on, and it was going to be temporary. She made it clear that you are not coming back here. But that's a conversation that we all had, So I think having a conversation with the village and making sure that everybody, is supportive of her transformation or elevation or whatever you want to call it, and that she has somewhere to come back home as a safety net, if you will.
Mm-hmm. And if it's on your heart, the bottom line is if it's on your heart and it's on your heart heavy, then I would definitely look into it. And like Bill said, sometimes our fear of trying something new hinders us. Mm-hmm. And sometimes it's a matter of just stepping out on faith. So I believe if anything's on your heart heavy, go for it.
Yeah, yeah, and what's like I said, like Mo said, like what's for you is for you, and then that conversation with your family is real. Your family will go ahead and tell you, like, bye, you need to go. You know, because they even see like you're at it. You might be at a standstill. You need that growth. You need that, you know, new experience to where sometimes your family see it, but sees it, and you don't have that conversation with them to get ahead and say, hey, you know, what should I do? So you might be sitting there thinking, oh, they're gonna be sad that I'm gone, and I don't think they're gonna be able to do this when they got a whole plan. Because in their head, they sitting there like, look, Keisha might leave. You know what I'm saying? Keisha might leave. So what's they plan? So when you have that conversation, this whole thinking about moving might be a whole lot easier for you. And then another thing is this: you can move, and then the thing is, let's say, hey, it didn't work out. You got to go back. It's
Right.
cool. You tried it, but now you're not living through life saying, hey, what if I did this, or I wish I would have done this.
But sometimes having conversations, I think that I think that you should decide yourself first,
Mm-hmm.
because even though you love your loved ones, they're your loved ones. You don't know what their
Response.
fears are. You don't know what their goals are. You don't know. Some people just want to keep you here because they don't want, they have their own set of fears, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I think that is good. I admire the way my daughter decided that she was leaving instead of asking me, do you think I should leave, Ma? What are my options?
What would you have said?
I don't know. I probably would have inflicted my fear into her because
Uh-huh.
initially I didn't initially see the benefits of her move until she actually, I remember the first time I got on the plane to fly to Florida, I'm like, oh, this feels good. I'm glad she did this. But as she said, Mom, thinking about leaving, I'm like, I would have been like, you're gonna leave me? Oh no, what am I gonna do? And blah, blah. And then now, she may say, well, I can't leave my mom. No, make up your mind, do whatever you're gonna do, and let the family know. Let the family know.
I think, and like you said, sometimes you come into like, especially when you having too many opinions when it comes into something. You know what I mean? So, like, I know my go-to people that I need to go to advice, and then I know the go-to people that look, I'm coming to let you know this is what I'm doing. Because, like you said, I agree with you 100%. You getting too many people in your ear, now you second guessing your thing. But everybody is not going to see your dream. Everybody's not going to see
Exactly.
your vision. So you have to sit there and lock in, like Mo said, lock into what you want to do, make that decision, talk to people,
Right.
and like, look, this is what I'm doing. Do you have any advice for doing this and that? You're not looking for I'm not looking for you to keep me here. You know what I mean? I'm looking for you to say, okay, you've accepted this is what you do. How can I support? You know, or
Exactly.
this is my advice, what you should get ahead and do. It's not a thing of no, I can't do this, because that once you do that to anybody, it becomes selfish. You know
Right.
what I mean?
Like
And
my
you're holding
grandma.
them back.
My grandmother, she wasn't able to move around. She had 2 knee replacements. Time I was, I think, in my 30s. Grandma was always home. Grandma, and that's all she knew. She couldn't get up and leave.
Mm-hmm.
So I knew that if I went to her and I said, Grandma, I'm thinking about relocating, in her mind, I'm never going to be able to go see you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm never going to be, I may not even get a chance to see you. Time is, life is short.
Mm-hmm.
So, that's something that I had to think. That's something that I thought about, and I'm glad I was here to see her until her last days. But, I just think you do have to be careful talking to family, because our fears can definitely stop you from doing what God has called you to do. Just like I'm sure you may get a call today to say, hey, there's a church out in Oklahoma that we want you to preach at. You have to make a decision, right? As a pastor, you have to make a decision. I feel like the new pastors too. The new pastors kind of move around a lot. We talk about churches, but to me, I've seen a lot of the pastors. One minute you at this church, next minute 2 years later you at another church, and now you ain't even preaching no more. I feel like the pastors are not the same either.
That's like, yo, pastors get traded every day, B. You know what I'm saying?
The culture has changed, man. The culture and every.
Mm-hmm. Uh-oh, did we lose him?
Oh no.
All right, we're gonna see if he's gonna come back. But yeah, so okay, I think he's back. Pastor, you back with us? There you go.
Yeah. Sorry, I was taking a phone call. The phone call came in.
You good?
Yeah.
So you said the pastors. You said it's changed.
Yeah, no, I just think the culture of workforce in general has changed, where, there used to be a day where people would stay at a job for 10, 15, 20 years.
Mm-hmm.
And, probably during the tech industry is when people started reducing the time frame of time that they would be at a job, right? So that affected the church as well. It affected the generation of individuals who grew up in this culture of staying at a place for a long period of time. Even amongst my colleagues, you find the older pastors will stay at a church for several years, and but younger pastors will, it depends on their calling, depends on their motivation, their aspirations, if you will, and their assignment.
So what's the process when you think about, okay, I have to now relocate from Hackensack to Atlanta? Is there a relocating process that because you're leaving your church? Do you go through like a guilt thing? Like, what's the process?
Yeah, of course. I think any pastoral leader builds a relationship with their congregants, right, and with their constituents. And so, anytime you have to leave that, like leaving a job or like leaving any other situation, there's those personal relationships that you have to deal with. But pastors have various reasons why they may. Some may feel like it's time to move on to another challenge, or depending on the family situation, depending on economic situations as well, right? So, as somebody, depending on if an individual has gone to graduate school and has earned, you want to be able to be compensated commiserately with your education. So, sometimes it's those situations. There's levels of this thing. There's levels in everything.
Pastors too? Wow.
There's levels in everything.
Learning something new. Learning something new. So, Mo, what's your final advice for her, Mo?
So my final advice, I'm in a season where if you ask me, I'm gonna tell you to go for it. Go for it. Get out there. It's so much, that big break that you're waiting for, that big break that you may be praying for, may be on the other side of the rainbow. So go, Celie, go.
Come on now. You heard her. What he said. It might be there for you. It might be there for you.
Go get it.
Yeah, I feel like we all got to get ahead and at some point take that jump. Take that jump, no parachute, and just let go and do it. And I tell you.
Yeah, I don't want to have any regrets. So if it's on my heart to do something, like when I left my job, it was on my heart to do something, even though, entrepreneurship is not for the weak.
Come on now. I'm
so glad that I did it. I love this life. I'm just waiting for everything to line up. But entrepreneurship is not for the weak, but I'm so glad I did it. So if it's on your heart, do it. And if you're gonna trust God, trust God.
Yeah, and I'll go back and say, because it's Monique's fault I don't have a job no more. No, I'm joking. Look, I'm gonna tell you, I saw how happy Monique was and how much she grew, like on that stage, and like the impact she was making. And I was going to work the next day, and I said,
wow,
I want that drink too. I'm gonna be honest. I looked at Monique and I was like, yo, I see Monique has always been a beast, but this was like a polished beast. And when I seen that gave me the push. Like, nah, that's what I need. Like, cause I always had the talent, but when you're able to put that hard work behind it, you start to see the growth. And then it's like, yo, and the thing is, one thing that Monique said, yo, I was scared. I was scared to go ahead and do it, but it's okay to be scared. But once you take that jump, when I mean this year, December 15th made a year for me doing it full time. This has been the most peace I've actually had, because I know I took a jump. I see what's coming, and like I said, I planted so many seeds. To now, I'm starting to see those seeds starting to grow. But I wouldn't be able to do that unless I just jumped and just went out there and did it.
You have to be vulnerable.
Yeah,
you have to be vulnerable. And one of the things that I wanted to do is, I'm always telling people, trust God, trust God. I wanted to be able to walk in that season, right? Mm-hmm. Where I'm like, God, I'm outside. What we doing? And when I tell you, it's probably been the scariest season of my life, but there's something inside of me that's like, I love this. I love this. So, I'm thankful when you told me that, because we all need confirmation, right? Sometimes we feel like we do things and are we crazy for doing it? So, to me, how it influenced you, that was like my confirmation that I did the right thing, because I don't only step for myself. I step for the people that are walking with me. Because if we have to be bold. Like if God has called us to do a thing, you got to be bold, because if not, everyone's going to be afraid, right? And I'm so glad that the spirit of jealousy, the spirit of insecurity does not affect our friendship, because sometimes just wanting to do something that somebody else is doing could hinder you. And jealousy is a real thing. But I'm so glad that God surrounds me with people that says, you know what, I'm not jealous of what they're doing. I want to be able to do some of the things that they're doing plus more, and we encourage each other.
Yeah, I think that's important. That's definitely important, because I can say, like, if you're not around people that you're building, like I want Monique. If Monique blow up today, I'm like this. I'm celebrating like I made it. Like that's just me personally. Now, is everybody gonna do that? No. That's just 100. But for me, for certain people, like I'm cheering for everyone. I want everybody to win. I feel like there's room for all of us to be able to win. So when I see Monique do things, like when I saw Monique on Apollo, it wasn't like, yo, how she get on Apollo? I want to be on that train. Now I'm like, yo, this train. No, I'm waiting. I'm living through her. I'm like, I'm waiting. And guess what? You gotta wait. What's for you is for you. Your time is gonna come when it's your time. So if you're sitting there waiting for that,
how you wait in the meantime is so crucial. I tell people all the time, your meantime season is how you wait. Are you waiting being bitter? Are you waiting being angry? Are you anxious? I suffer from anxiety, right? I do. That's the weakness of mine. But there's also a blessing in anxiety, because anxiety can activate what you need to do. There's balances, and there's you got to like monitor it. And I tell myself all the time, talk to your anxiety. Tell your anxiety, shut up. I got this. God got this. You will talk yourself out of something that you should be doing.
Yeah, that's a fact. That's a fact. But look, yeah,
I like that.
No,
I like that.
Yeah, no, that's look. This is why we got Monique here. Listen, y'all people, y'all make sure y'all keep sending in to ask Monique. Cause Monique got the answers. Okay, if y'all want to send it in those questions, send it to Save the Sunday Podcast at billionairecomedy.com. And Monique, we'll go ahead and let you know the real. Cause I don't know. I just feel inspired. Like I ain't even got nowhere to go, but Monique got me ready to pack my bags and go somewhere the way she.
I always want to relocate, but I think that the tri-state area is where I'm supposed to be. I didn't get the bug that tell me otherwise. But if I do get the bug that says what you're doing in life is somewhere else, then I don't want nothing to stop me from moving. Nothing.
There you go.
And I believe when you're doing what you love, everything around you, God takes care of that.
That falls right into place.
Yeah,
falls right into place. But like I said, people send those questions in for Ask Monique or any other situations or some ish that y'all want to talk about or somebody you want to bring to the altar. Make sure you send that in to Save the Sunday Podcast at billionairecomedy.com. But people, it's time for the ish. And I got one today. Somebody sent me some ish, and I want to get ahead and share it with y'all. Okay, it says, my dad Tyrone had been separated from my mom Lisa for years, but they never finalized their divorce. In that time, he built a life with his girlfriend Keisha, who was there for him through everything. Now that he's gone, things are getting messy. Keisha started making funeral plans right away, but my mom shut it down. My mom said, I'm his wife, and legally, this is my responsibility. Keisha said, I was the one taking care of him when he would, I was the one taking care of him, and he would have wanted me to handle this. Now that nothing is moving forward because the funeral home won't do anything without my mom's approval. But Keisha refuses to let out. Family members are choosing sides, and I just want my dad to be laid to rest. How should we handle this ish?
That's a tough one.
Pastor, I know you deal with a lot of funerals, so can you give us any advice on how we should handle this ish right here? Because there's some ish. Because like it's a little messy. What you got to say?
Come on, Pastor.
I mean, first, I guess you first got to look at the documents, right? Who's paying for this funeral, right? Okay. Who got the finances to make sure the coins to make sure that my brother has a great send off? Whoever got them coins, that's the person that's leading the situation. I don't care who shows up. So, unless it's a GoFundMe.
Yeah, look, unless it's a GoFundMe situation, like whoever raised the most money.
Yeah, whoever raises the most money in that situation, I guess.
Look, people, this is a public service announcement. Get you some life insurance.
Get some life
get you
insurance.
some life insurance because you don't want to be the GoFundMe. You don't want to be the GoFundMe. But this does happen. This does happen. But Mo, how you feel about it, Mo? How you feel about it?
That's always, as a woman and as a single woman that's out here dating of a certain age, that's a big fear of mine, meeting someone who's not divorced, because this happened to several of my family members. And the girlfriend is left out. And she's been with the man 5, 6, 7, 8 years, lived with him. They got, and the wife is sitting in the front row getting all the hugs and kisses, and the whole sermon is toward the wife. Your husband was a good man. Your husband, he was a man of God, but your husband wasn't you. So
that's real.
I think that we go back to having conversation. What does he want? Let's talk about this as soon as we meet. And you're not divorced, let me know what your plans are. If you're living with me, if we're dating or whatever we're doing, and that's a hard conversation to bring up. It really is. I know, especially when you're just dating someone and you're not married. It is a hard situation, but in reality, I need to know, do you have anything in writing? What's your plans?
Like that, and then that's another thing. Like people, your emergency contacts. You know what I'm saying? When you get in certain situations, like what are you on that is making you? Are you an emergency contact now? There's a lot of things that might need to be shifted when you.
I'm thinking who was his emergency contact?
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. Like who's the emergency
was it
contact?
the girlfriend or was it the wife?
Yeah, so it's like things like that. I think people don't really be forgetting.
I think though, just for out of respect for the children, that are involved. I think that needs to be a consideration in terms of what is sort of the child envision for this. Unfortunately, kind of being in the middle of that, and I remember when for my father's funeral, I had my mother and I had his wife, and my mother had certain things that she wanted to take place, and his bride wanted certain things to take place, and I had to remind, my mother that, that was his bride and that, whatever she was looking for. And, we're just here to honor and celebrate the deceased, and we can't let our personal sort of things get in the way of that. But I understood her perspective, and I understood the other lady's perspective as well. And, everybody feels like they're entitled to, a piece of the individual, but at the end of the day, we're celebrating the life of the individual, and it should not be about us anyway.
It shouldn't. I think she. Go ahead, Mo.
I was just gonna say real quickly. No matter what you do, somebody's gonna get hurt. Somebody's feelings are gonna get hurt. No matter what we do, somebody. And then when it comes to weddings, I always say this: when it comes to weddings, and when it comes to funerals, someone is always going to get their feelings hurt. Why wasn't I invited? Why was I left off the program? Why wasn't I in the obituary? Why wasn't I? It's always something.
That was next. That was next because that obituary, not the obituary, and the program, because they got to acknowledge now. I don't see the wife saying the leaves behind wife, girlfriend. You know what I'm saying? So now
girlfriend's name is never
girlfriend.
I actually have seen it before.
It's a girlfriend.
It's not mentioned.
It's just a special friend. If you were
I've seen special friend.
It should say special. If I've been with him for 5 years or 4 years, I don't care if it's a week. If I'm the special friend when he died.
See, Mo
you want to get that acknowledgement?
Yeah, Mo said, listen, if I was with him when he passed out, I need to be in the dang program, okay?
I'm
call 911.
Right.
But who's benefiting from any benefits from the individual? That's the other thing. As a girlfriend, typically she ain't getting nothing.
Nah.
There is nothing in the state or estate or life insurance policy or anything like that.
So does she have to take the L? So she basically, in this situation, you got to take the L.
She got to take the L. I remember when
is there common law in Massachusetts? There's a common law
10 years
up there that you could be with somebody for 7 years and that would be considered married.
In Jersey is 10, but I don't know if you're still married if that's considered.
Yeah, if you're still married, they never officially signed the divorce papers.
And I don't know why people don't get divorced. I'm gonna be honest with you. As when my husband and I separated, it took about 3 years, but I knew I wanted it. I don't know why people hold on to marriages. I don't get it. If you're separated, you're both doing you, get the divorce. I don't. But I guess maybe monetary reasons, maybe benefits. I don't know. But
I feel like once you get and do that, you need to change everything
you do, and
because
because
you
Maybe
left in
because
this
maybe
situation.
that's what it is. It's really starting over,
Yeah,
and I think a lot of
it is
people,
scary. It's
going
scary
back to
because
your first segment, a lot of people are afraid to leave that comfort zone and start
yeah,
over.
but
yeah.
now, do you think that? And this makes me think. Do you think this is because if they've been separated for so long, like the wife, she's you've been gone, so now all of a sudden you want to go ahead and take like, what does this have to do? Like, you haven't been there like that. This is your husband. It didn't work. I think you should respectfully like, or either work with her doing it, or you got to bow out. Like you getting the benefit, like you because this lady, she said it said that she was taking care of him when he was sick and all this other stuff. Like she's been taking care of this dude.
Yeah,
And now you just kicking this dude that you wasn't when he was sick. Where was you at? I think sometimes it becomes selfish. You know what, and it's like you've been gone for 5 years and ain't been doing nothing, and now that he's dead, now you want to show up, and now he's like the at the height of your list. No, I'd rather you come to the funeral. You know what I'm saying? And we will show you your respect in the program. But for
That
you
ain't
to
never
all of a
gonna
sudden want to
happen.
be
You will
involved,
never see a wife sitting at the back of the church
I
while
say
her
she got to sit at the back. I ain't say she got to sit at the back. You got to
that ain't
figure it
gonna
out.
happen.
No, I don't think she should be put to the back because you have kids. You are a part of the family, no matter what it is. That's always going to be your family and stuff like that. But there's got to be a respect level, and then a real level. Like, let's just be real. If you was still his wife and really trying to be there, you would have been there. You know what I'm saying? So now you want to be in the front row putting on the show, man. Listen, you better get her to slide over instead of the
I,
end of the
I
funeral.
got one for you, Bill.
Go ahead.
I did a funeral not too recently,
Uh-huh.
probably last year, the end of last year. I did a funeral for a gentleman who I did not know. He was an older guy, and I did not know this dude had a wife until the
Okay.
funeral.
Mm.
And she showed. I've known this individual for at least 4 years,
Okay.
and at the funeral, she showed up, and I didn't know who she was. Somebody had to introduce her to me. She came in. She had the biggest hat. She had the prettiest dress,
Uh-huh.
and she strutted right down the middle of the aisle and sat right there in the front with her daughter. And to this day, it did not even dawn on me that this individual had a full blown family that showed up. So those are some of the dynamics that we deal with. Now,
Yeah.
he didn't have a girlfriend that showed up, but
Yeah.
if he did, to your point, who might have been kind of caretaking him for
Mm-hmm.
him and being the companion for him.
Mm-hmm.
If he had that, that would have made a really weird dynamic because Shorty, she really did show up like, I'm first lady, I'm here.
Yeah.
And I was like,
Yeah.
who is this lady?
Like this, I done known Karen for about 4 years, and I ain't never seen.
I
I
ain't never
ain't
heard your
never.
name, ain't never heard about your child, ain't never heard nothing.
Yeah,
That's
that's
done.
that's wild. So, all right,
As
so
long
look,
as
like
I get
so.
as long as I get invited to the repast, that's all I care about.
Somebody I
As
need a
long
good
as the
Give
punch.
me a good
repack, look, it
repast.
matters who's cooking. You know what I mean? It matters who's cooking. But
Oh, it's
I'm
gonna
just,
always be some good cooking at the repast.
yeah, look, especially if it's downstairs in the basement, you already know
Always
they've
gonna be
been.
some.
You already know.
If it's downstairs in the basement, that means it's gonna be this food is ready. If you gotta go somewhere, the food ain't gonna be ready.
The Kool-Aid at the repast.
Come on, that diabetical juice.
Yeah.
I never taste so much sugar in my life.
that
It's
diabetic.
good. It ain't good for you, but it's good.
All right. Well, look, I'm gonna put it like this. First off, our condolences for the passing of your father. But I think at this point that the girlfriend got to kind of take this out. She got to kind of take this out, and then but honestly talk to your mom too. Like you got to be real with your mom too, and especially if you have some type of relationship with her, you got to explain to your mom like, look, dad was doing this, dad had this, and this was going on. You got to at least give her some grace to allow her to be there because for the last, let's say, 4 years, she's been in this man's life. And That's a lot. You know what I mean? She's been out of your life for 5 years, and you've been living your life. We don't know if you moved on or what are you doing. So it's just giving some type of grace in there, and knowing what the real purpose of this whole thing is. It's to celebrate this man's life. It's not about y'all. So remove yourself from it and give the respect that's due to each other. I think
You might need to post that question on social media to get people's feedback on that. That's a good topic.
Yeah, I think I definitely would love to hear y'all feedback. So look, even if y'all want to get ahead and put it in the comments on YouTube, or y'all want to get an email us about this situation, this ish right here, y'all can email us at Save the Sunday Podcast at billionairecomedy.com. All right, y'all. Listen, I'm excited.
Yes.
Okay, because it's the Come to the Altar portion of the show, and I'm excited of who is coming to the altar today. So, Pastor Page, who is coming to the altar today? Talk to us, please.
So yeah, I appreciate that, brother. Today I want to talk about individuals. I happened to be at at a store this past weekend, and there was a older lady there, and she was buying a lottery ticket, a couple lottery tickets, that is. And when she got the lottery tickets in her hand, I witnessed and I noticed the lady praying over her lottery tickets. And she was going in fervently, praying hard over these lottery. I mean, I felt a quickening in my spirit based on the prayer that she had over these lottery tickets. And when she was done, I shared with the lady, I said, I'm going to believe all that good stuff. I said, what church do you go to? And she looked at me, she said, baby, I don't go to church. She said, I only pray to the Lord when I get my lottery tickets. Which led me to think and believe that there are individuals who think that God is a lottery ticket and a vending machine.
Come
and
on
so
now.
Today, I would like to call to the altar everybody who may look at God as a vending machine or as a lottery ticket, but yet do not have relationship with him. Matthew chapter 6, verse 33 says, seek ye first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all things will be given unto you. God isn't against blessing us, but he wants us to seek him first, not as a last resort. And when we find ourselves in the lottery line at the package store or convenience store, and we are praying over the blessing, I need us to understand that our God is not a vending machine and he is not a lottery ticket, but he is looking for us to be in relationship with him. And so that's what I want to do today. I want to bring everybody to the altar who believes that our God is a vending machine and our God is a lottery ticket, and we only come to him when we want something.
Hold on. Whoa.
Jesus.
Can I ask you a question? What is the wildest? What's the wildest bargain prayer you ever prayed to God?
What's the wildest what?
God, if you do this for me, then I will do. What is the wildest prayer you ever prayed?
Yo, the wildest prayer. Hold on. You just put a lot on us right there. Hold on. I'm gonna come back. I'm gonna come back to that question. But God is not a vending machine. You know how many people? Be okay? You know how many people be praying over these parlays from FanDuel? Okay, do you know how many people be praying over FanDuel parlays and they ain't step a foot in the church? Like you can't. Like I'm
FanDuel parlay, yeah.
Let me tell you something. I do happen to partake in a little bit of that sports betting. Okay, and I don't even go ahead and talk to God when I do it because I'm like, look, I say, hey, if it's for me, it's for me. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you win some, you lose some. Even when I go to the casinos, I don't be, Lord, bless this table, let me walk away. Because I'm like, nah, he know I ain't supposed to be getting me doing it like this. But I'll be like this. I will say this. If I do go to the, I hit a big ticket or I be at the fan on the tables, I'd be like this. Thank you, Lord. Like I think he did have something to do with it, but they was like, okay, now you got to get away and walk away because you get greedy. When you get greedy, he'll take it right back. So I've had that happen. So I feel like he be there with me, but he not really condoning it. But that is real. To not even have a relationship with God and have that, and then you sitting there calling him when you need him, like it's just a little genie rubber. Nah, we can't do that. We can't.
Yeah.
We can't do that.
Yeah, what are you giving back? I ask myself that all the time. What are you giving back? You asking him to cover you in this area. You asking him to cover you in that area. What are you giving back?
That's real.
And that for me, because I feel like I'm always like, Lord, just if you just one more time, Lord, one more time. Because
Mhm.
especially going back to being an entrepreneurship, like I feel like I'm always at the hem of his garment.
Oh,
Um,
we holding on.
right. And it's always a big one. It's always, I feel like it's always a lottery ticket, when you're an entrepreneur. So I'm always like, all right, one more month, God, one more month. Um, but I also try to keep in mind, like, what are you giving back to him?
Yes.
Who gets the glory? Who gets the glory? And I agree with you 100%. I know a lot of people who are bona fide gamblers.
Mm-hmm.
This is what they do. Matter of fact, this is how they survive. And woo. So you hit home with that one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think my bad. One thing I think that another thing is with people, and this is in general, this doesn't necessarily have to do with lottery and gambling, but when it just comes to prayer in your relationships, like for
Yeah,
me, I don't just talk to God when it's time to when I want something. You know what I'm saying? I got to talk to him every day just because and just about something. It can be anything. Like yo, just get me through this, and you got to build that relationship because
yeah,
when things and also just not praying when things are bad. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yes.
yeah.
don't just show up. Don't just pray when I ain't got the money or
Mm,
I don't the lights is off and now this is that or I'm going through this in my relationship. Nah, I need you to talk to me when things are good too,
yeah,
and I had to learn that to myself too. And there's times that we get what we prayed for, and then all of a sudden when we was praying every single day, like when we do these fasts, I was doing a 21-day fast. So now this 21 days at 7 o'clock, we always doing this prayer and we fasting and do this and that. And day 22 comes and you pray. Day 23 comes and you don't pray. Day 24 comes and then it starts fading and you're like, yo, what am I missing? You stop praying. You stop praying because you got everything that you needed to receive. And that for me, I was like, hold on. You got to get back on that track because that's when God's like, okay, I'm gonna let you sit here and wait again. You don't want
Yeah.
to get to put all this work in and not be able to receive what's for you. So that's why I said you got to have a real relationship and only don't come because how would you feel if somebody only talked to you when they needed some money? Like this, I don't
That
talk
was
to
the
Paul.
exact same questions I was going to ask. How
Yeah,
would you feel?
and
If,
that's
yeah,
and that's where I had to get ahead and take. I'm like, yo, God keep blessing me, and the only time I talk to him is when he bless. Like even and this goes for people too. You know what I mean?
yes.
Because these are the relationships that you have that you might get to the point where it's like, Dad, Mo only called me when she want to get her to do comedy. She don't call me to go hang out. She don't care. She don't care about nothing else that I'm going through. She can, hey, we got this for comedy. All right, I'll talk to you later. When I can
yeah.
be going, you know what I'm saying? And if you want that, you got to build that relationship to have that. So that's real.
And that's why I said, I ask myself, what are you giving him?
Mm-hmm.
What are you pouring back into him?
Mm.
Because the more you pour into God, the more committed you are to him.
Mm-hmm. That's real.
By reading my Bible, am I speaking well of him? These things are important
Yo,
because,
that.
like Bill said, like when it gets down to I'm only praying when I'm in trouble. Nah, like we're gonna celebrate. We're gonna thank him for what's happening, even when nothing's happening. I know I had a day the other day where I didn't even know what I was feeling. I didn't even know what mood I was in, and only thing I can say was Jesus, and not to be, you know. Oh, like I'm the most religious person in the world. But if I don't know what to say, I just call his name.
Mm-hmm.
I just call his name because I don't. Some days I don't know what to say.
Mm-hmm.
Not a bad day. It's not a good day. It's just a day where I'm like, Jesus,
Mm-hmm. Lord said, call on them.
Jesus.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
We got to
This has
call
been
on him
great
through the good and the bad. Yes, that was a good one.
And I
in
and I,
all
I
things. Absolutely.
I learned sometimes also. Sometimes you got to sit and be quiet and just listen.
Mm,
You know what I mean? Because like a lot of times, and our thoughts and our minds be running and going crazy, and I know that's where I'm at. Sometimes my thoughts are being so crazy, it's so loud. Sometimes you got to sit in that silence and just listen to what he has for you. Like stop, slow down, and sit in that moment to know. All right, look, you going through you asking him this, and that. When you gonna shut up and listen? You
Ah,
know what I'm saying?
let them
When you
talk
gonna shut
back.
up and listen? So then, and that's where I start to slow down and just take everything in and sometimes it comes from like I hear him speak in so many different forms. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes it's in music, sometimes it's in people. But sometimes we have so much going on that we don't stop and listen. I've been at a bar before and a drunk. a drunk had come up to me and start speaking, and all of a sudden they were no longer drunk in my eyes the way they were talking. Like for that moment that you were in, they was pouring in, and you not even noticing. This is just God talking through somebody else. You know, we don't know what form it's gonna come in, what it's gonna look like, but I've had it happen so many times that I'd be like, that was God for me sitting there talking. I needed to be here, even when and then even when you go to places that you know you're not supposed to be, something that happened in there that'll hit you and be like, okay, you needed to be here for that. So it's like you got to stop and be able to accept and hear and understand. Like some people might hear a voice. Some people, something might come on the radio and say just something. You know what I mean? Some people get into like numbers that are confirmation of angel numbers. All that. It's different ways to receive, and you know what is for you. You know what I mean? You know what is for you. It's not like you sitting there be like this. God said, "Go play the lottery." I'm going to play the lottery. Like, you know what I'm saying? But that I feel like that's so real when it comes to this, and that's building that relationship is just is real.
It's a daily thing. It's just a daily thing to get comfortable enough. It's like any relationship. I share with folks. If you want to develop a relationship with God, it's just like any other relationship that you develop, right? If I'm courting somebody, I'm talking to them. I want to spend time with them. I want to get to know them. I want to share my secrets with them. I want to be, I want to have intimate moments with them. It's the same. I'm not just calling them because I want something from them or I need something from them. I get tired of folk who call me for that. All they want is something. I got family members. The only time they call me is when they want to hold on to a little something. I get tired. You start sending them folks to voicemail. Yeah. So we're always coming to God with a request and not taking the time to just sit and listen, as you were talking about, Bill, or just take a moment and just say thank you. Or just say, God, I thank you for these little small, but I thank you that I woke up this morning and you gave me usage of my hands and usage of my feet, and you gave me breath in my lung. God, I thank you for my children. God, I thank you. And we can just cultivate and continue to develop and seek after him. God, I believe that even though he is not a genie, he is one who loves his children and loves to spoil his children. And so that's what I want all of us to do. I encourage all of us to find something to talk to the Lord about, amen, without asking him to bless you. Amen. He's going to do that regardless. But just cultivate a relationship with them and watch what happens to you in your life this week.
Ooh.
No, I don't know. Look. I just got to. I think that deserves just an applause. It definitely deserves an applause. Because I'm gonna tell you, we look. I don't know, Mo. I don't know. Mo, I don't know about you, but I feel like I received church twice today. You know what I'm saying? This right here is how you go ahead and close it out. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I just really appreciate this come to the altar. The come to the altar was definitely real and needed. And people, this is what we do. We hope that y'all just get something for this. We having fun. We talking about everything. Like I said, this is the Come As You Are podcast. So we definitely appreciate that for you.
Is there anybody you guys want to bring to the altar? I know we was talking about it, but
you got somebody, Mo?
How's our sister Najee doing?
I haven't even heard from. I don't know where she is. I don't know if she's locked up in Dubai. I don't know.
We gotta find out. I haven't seen any updates.
We ain't getting no update videos.
She might be detained.
She might be detained.
We gonna pray for her.
Let's keep her in prayer because Dubai is a little different from Pakistan.
Yes.
So let's just keep her in prayer that she's okay, that she's in her right state of mind, because she was giving us some life last week, the week before last. Now, I missed that.
Yeah, definitely.
But I'm gonna bring my adult children to the altar. Adult children is not for the weak. Okay, adult children, because you have to have a certain level of God. I really, really trust you with the adult children. You got to trust that whatever you poured into them, they are, they have instilled in them that no matter where they go in life, no matter what they do, God will meet them in their secret place, in their hidden place. So I'm going to lay my children at the altar, or anyone with adult children can relate to this. If you have adult children, let's keep them in prayer, keep them covered. Especially when you have multiple kids, one child may act crazy, one child may be the leader of the gang, because, it's like a little gang.
Mm-hmm.
They talk about you behind your back. It's a lot going on. They got a group text about mom. So it'd be a lot going. I'm an only child, so I that's a whole nother topic. We'll talk about that at another day. I'm the only child. I got 3, and they all adults, and they all doing different things, and I just want to lay them at the altar.
There you go. Well, I appreciate you bringing them to the altar. That is amazing. But people, please follow us on all platforms. Save the Sunday podcast. If y'all missed any of this show, y'all can go on YouTube and y'all can go ahead and catch it on YouTube and also catch it on the Inspired Living Network. Thank you to the Inspired Living Network for having us every Sunday, 6 p.m. We enjoy you guys. Like I said, keep following us. And if you guys want to send in any questions for Monique, that's the Ask Monique portion of the show. Y'all get and send it in to Save the Sunday podcast at billionairecomedy.com. So make sure y'all do that. But listen, I got a big week, y'all. I'm sorry, I'm going to say it. We put it out here. The Apollo, we here this Thursday, y'all. This Thursday is finally here. It's finally here. So we at the Apollo 10 p.m. show. I think they still got some tickets left, but y'all better hurry up because I know it's going to sell out. I'm excited. I'm following in the footsteps of greats. One of them is on this show right here. Monique Latisse has already blessed that stage and doing what she do. So please, if you can come out, it's going to be a dope night.
How do they get tickets, Bill?
You go to apollotheater.org and you can go ahead and get those tickets right now. So don't wait because I'm telling you, it's selling out. My people is buying them in numbers. I'm not just saying that. It's real. Okay, so it's going to be packed out. I'm looking forward to it. I'm excited. Hope to see y'all there. But on behalf of the Save This Sunday podcast, we want to thank y'all for tuning in. We hope y'all enjoyed. This is the first Sunday of the month. We here. All right, March, we are here. And you already know, happy first Sunday. Let this be a great month. And we look forward to seeing y'all next week. Y'all have a great week. It's your boy, Bill the Billionaire, Pastor Page, and Monique Latisse. Till
real
next
quick,
time,
Bill, real quick. Tell
the
Saints how they can get a t-shirt or a sweatshirt.
Oh, yeah. If you want to get a t-shirt, sweatshirt, you can email us also at Save the Sunday podcast at billionairecomedy.com because we're going to set that up and I will have the link on our page. All right? Till next time, y'all have a great week. And this is Save the Sunday podcast. I'll holler at you.
Peace.